I don't know about you guys, but I am sick and tired of seeing the stupid quote-unquote moral dilemma known as the trolley problem. For those of you who don't know, the trolley problem is a moral question posed to the observer. Say there's a trolley coming, and there's no way to stop it, only a lever to change its course. Now say there are hostages tied to each path of the trolley, except there's multiple people on one side and only one on the other. Do you pull the lever and sacrifice the one for the many, or do you sacrifice the many for the one? What's the answer to this conundrum? Nothing. You lose the second you choose to engage in this hypothetical. The reason being, there isn't a shred of an explanation as to how these circumstances came about to begin with. Who are these people? How did they come to be tied there? Is no one driving the trolley to stop it? How did you find yourself in control of the lever of fate? A big time-saving tip for you guys out there itching to take a crack at this. Just don't. If the one posing the conundrum cannot reason their way into the situation, it is not your responsibility to reason your way out. I'm not making a contingency plan for a rocket launcher skeleton cavalry unless and until you tell me how skeletons animated themselves, are able to grip the reins with no muscles, and who supplied the rocket launchers. At the very least. However, going beyond that, what really irks me is the insidious moral framing it allows some really bad actors to engage in. The typical answer you get for this problem is the numbers one. It is better to sacrifice the one for the many. You can't refrain from making a choice because you could have saved at least the larger group. Therefore, refraining from making the impossible choice from magical circumstances that manifested out of the ether makes you evil. This framing is extremely disingenuous because, as I explained earlier, you, the chooser, are separated into a moral vacuum where only you bear responsibility for the outcome of circumstances you didn't even create. Unless there's an outside puppet master who orchestrated the situation, people don't just randomly appear tied to tracks, and trolleys don't just go rogue with no conductor. That is the evil person in this situation, not you, the chooser, because none of this would be happening without it all being orchestrated by a puppet master. It's a trick to transfer moral responsibility for evil onto those who must be forced to deal with the consequences of evil. I've lost count of the number of times people I've argued with about this claim that I am evil to refrain from making the choice because I had the power to at least save some people by making the choice. Again, nonsense, as the puppet master set all this in motion. But if you peer a little deeper into the standard, it exposes just how sinister it truly is. If a good person is obligated to perform an evil deed to try and mitigate the consequences of evil men's actions, then good men are always at the mercy of evil men. All evil men have to do is escalate their evil deeds in perpetuity. For example, say you make the choice today to sacrifice the one man to save the other people. Tomorrow, I, the puppet master, will create the exact same problem, except now there's 10 people on one side and 5 on the other. Then the next day, I remove the lever and say the only way to stop 20 people from being run over is to kill the other side's 10 with your bare hands. The day after that, you have to stab 10,000 infants on one track to save 1,000,000 on the other. And so on and so forth. I can have you committing genocide on a daily basis and thinking yourself good because you've prevented a greater genocide, which I'll just have you perform tomorrow. You are not preventing evil by committing evil or complying with it. You are only surrendering your morality to the service of evil. You will continue to carry out every atrocity the puppet master demands of you, and looking to him for your moral barometer. Thus, you have made evil your god, and you will never once doubt your own evil, framing it as good because you had no choice but to make a choice from the false dichotomy presented to you. Who gave you no choice? The magic trolley on the magic track with the magically appearing hostages? Oh, and even if you find a way to stop the trolley and save all the hostages, how are you going to stop the approaching skeleton cavalry from blowing up both sides of the track with their rocket launchers, huh? Utter nonsense. I will never surrender to the precept that evil has a veto on good, nor will I allow evil men to abdicate moral responsibility onto those who had no part in the creation of their evil machinations. And I will certainly not be dragged into an infinite loop of endless pontification of ever-changing circumstances. Why should I? I don't have to satisfy the sociopaths who relentlessly fantasize about evil hypotheticals ad infinitum. When it comes to the trolley problem, the only winning move is not to play. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, I would really appreciate it if you'd hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share this video around. Also follow me on Gab and BitChute. Links are in the description. Thanks, guys.